Hello, lovelies. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back, and I suppose I'm saying welcome back to myself because I've been gone for about a month. I didn't intend to, but it just life kind of got in the way, and yeah, things have been a bit busy. Also, I feel like I was kind of hit with that Mercury retrograde at the beginning of the month because the technical issues I had, I ended up not posting one of the videos I filmed because the microphone was not working, and I did not know throughout that entire reading. So, yeah, I'm back now, and I have checked. The I believe it's working fine now. So, yeah, let's get into it. Today's reading is all about what is in store for you for the month of May 2024. So, just your month ahead predictions. And we have pile one, pile two, pile three, and pile four. So, if you're new to pick a card readings, just take a deep breath, breathe out, and then just think about the question, which is literally just what is in store for you for the month ahead. And then pick the card that you are immediately drawn towards. Don't overthink it, it's your intuition. You start thinking too hard, you're not going to be drawn to the right one. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, that is also completely fine as well. The timestamps for each group will be listed down below, so just head down there, click on your timestamp, and it will take you directly to your reading. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, Group 1. If you chose this card, then this is going to be your reading all about the month ahead. So we've got this beautiful card called Magic. And what I'm going to do is read directly from the little pamphlet that comes with it, so I don't give you any kind of different interpretation. And this says, true magic is all around us. It can be hard to see at times, but it is there. Take a moment to protect yourself. Take advantage of the magic that flows in your veins. It is always better to be safe than sorry. There is also a little poem, and I kind of feel like I want to read that too. So it's a very short one, don't worry. Fickle are the things we can't see, for they still impact us as we breathe. So what if I cannot see her mane and eyes? For me, magic has no earthly ties. I mean, that's just so pretty. But yeah, I like that the idea that with this one, it's kind of telling you that it's, things are happening, like when you're kind of stuck in a rut and you forget to appreciate the little things that are happening, and you don't see how all these little things that happen are coming together to make a bigger picture for you. Not sure if I'm making sense here, but you can just kind of sometimes you can not realize how good things are actually going because you're trapped in this kind of, I guess, almost like a tunnel vision, and you don't realize what's actually happening for you. And so I guess it's just one of those, like, things are happening. This is almost saying, the magic is happening for you. It's giving me manifestation vibes, like things will come together. You may not see it yet, but they will come together. And I think it's so important because when you're in a moment in your life, you might think, you might feel like things are just not working out how you wanted them to, and maybe they're going a little bit slower than you thought. But then as when you come out that time and you look back, you start to see the pattern of how things started to come together and how they fell into place in order to get you to where you are right now. And I think that's, it's just this really beautiful thing where it's the estate, there's this magic that you can't see and it's happening all the time. Just drop something. But yeah, it's just, I really love that kind of magic of life where there's, the little coincidences, the little things that happen that you're like, oh, that was a weird coincidence. Oh, I thought this thing, and then all of a sudden I saw I saw this out in the world. I saw this thought that I had kind of materialized in the 3D world. And there's weird little coincidences. I think just show you that there is magic happening all around all the time. So yeah, I guess to begin with, just a little message about things happening. Things are kind of happening for you in May, and you may not see it. Maybe at the beginning of the month you're not really seeing it, but it's constantly happening. Things, are always happening for you. You've maybe got something in mind that you're trying to manifest, or that you're trying to, you know, that you're trying to create, something that you're trying to do, and things will be moving forward for you. It does say something about protecting yourself. So, perhaps there is something you need to consider about protecting yourself from. Maybe there's certain people in your life that, there's certain negative energies that you need to protect yourself from. Just to don't let that negative energy in, and allow it to block you from what it is, and so don't let it block your blessings, basically. Don't let it block the positive energy. So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get some tarot cards. So, group one, store for group one in the month of May. Okay, we have the Emperor. Interesting. That's a good card to get. Some store for group one in the month of May. Okay, and the Hierophant. Did I see another card? I did indeed. Okay. Interesting. So far we've got the Emperor, which is a very, in fact, I feel almost a kind of similar energy coming from a lot of these. And it's this kind of the swords energy. The Emperor kind of is very similar to the King of Swords, with that kind of very disciplined authoritative energy. So there's something about this month that is kind of, things feel like they're moving in a good direction, but it's very kind of traditional. You've got the Hierophant. Things are kind of moving along in a very kind of steady way. Perhaps there's, I was going to say, it gives me kind of energy of, maybe work environment, because you've got the Hierophant there, and it's that kind of very traditional, conventional way of doing things. And I don't know, something about this with the kind of intellectual vibes that I'm getting from this, that something about the air energy and the intellectual and just the energy of the mind is what's coming through on this. It makes me think that maybe this is very heavily related to work. So it's just, you've got this Emperor that's in a leadership position, that's someone that knows, they know what they're doing. They know how to lead people. People look to them. And so there's this kind of energy of, you are in this position where you're very confident in the month of May. You know what you need to do. I'm trying to get my words. This is what happens when you take a month off. But yeah, I just kind of get the feeling that you are in this position where, you are this person that people look to, because you've got the energy of the Emperor and then the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, she is this brilliant communicator, and she's extremely honest. She's very frank with people. She's not going to mince her words. She's going to tell you exactly, she's going to be fair about it. She's going to tell you exactly what needs to be said. And so, it could be that you are in a leadership position. It could be that you are somebody, if it's outside of work, it could be that you are standing up for yourself. You are taking charge and saying, I will not be treated the way you have been treating me this time, all this time. I refuse to let you do this to me anymore, and we will no longer be doing this anymore. And you're taking back control of your life and refusing to let people talk down to you. It's just this kind of sense of just seizing control of your life, being in control of something. And so yeah, this, I'm getting, if this is work, then brilliant. You could be getting a promotion. Some of you may already be in a leadership position, but you're doing amazingly well, and it's being noticed, and people are really, perhaps even you're getting some great feedback, some very honest feedback that about how amazing you've been doing. And people are really appreciating and saying, wow, really appreciate you as our manager and as our boss. And, we think you're doing a great job. But yeah, all around, there's taking control, there's taking back your power is what I'm getting from this. And yeah, as I say, outside of work, this is definitely giving, you're taking charge of your life. You're deciding, I know what direction I want to go in. and I refuse to let anyone else tell me anything else, and I will go forward. But you're not, this isn't a delusional kind of energy. This is not, I'm going to go forward no matter what, and I don't care what anyone says. No, this is, I'm getting like the intelligence, being smart about this, with the Hierophant, you've been very smart about this. There's a lot of intelligent energy like going throughout this. This feels very thought out. This feels like you know what the right action is. And for the month of May, I don't know, you've maybe been building up to this. And then finally, you know what you want to do, you know where you want to go, and you're kind of figuring this out. And yeah, by the end of the month of May, you feel way more in control and like you're on, on a clear path of where you want to get to. And yeah, and perhaps even people, I said about being a leader, perhaps people are actually looking to you for mentorship. You could be a mentor, or they could be just looking to you for kind of advice. And, they're seeing as you, as this person that gives great advice and has all this wisdom to give. And so perhaps people are kind of relying on you this month for a little bit. They see you as this person that knows what they're doing. You seem to be so in control of your life, and maybe other people, are kind of struggling a bit, and so they're turning to you for advice, and it feels a bit like you are the person that people are turning to and you're helping. But regardless, whatever this is, whether it's work or your home life, you are in control. There's an element of this control and just steady energy going on here. I'm going to get a few more. So, for me. Group one. What we got here? Oh, okay, amazing. And it seems that within that energy of just taking that power and control back of your life and being in this position of authority, you're feeling way more fulfilled in your life, way more satisfied. I think for some of you, you've been working towards this kind of level for a while, especially if this is an actual job, a position that you've been trying to get to. You've been working to this for a while, and now you've made it, and you're so happy, you're so fulfilled. This is what you've wanted for the longest time, and you're finally getting it in the month of May. And then, yeah, I think for others, even if it's not something you could have been in this position all along, as say, if someone's kind of coming to you for advice, it's because they see you as being in this great position. Like other people are recognizing that you are in this kind of good position in your life right now, and they're kind of looking to you and going, "Oh, well, how do they do it? I want to be able to do just like them. Like, how do they do it?" And coming to you for advice, with things happening in their own lives and within their own jobs, and you are able to give some great advice. Because you just take from your own experiences. You've been through a lot of things to be able to get to this point, to be able to you can't mentor people without going through these experiences and learning all these things within your life from going through these different things. So there's a lot of wise energy here, and with that comes this kind of feeling of satisfaction and just feeling like life is in the right place. So it's really given a nice kind of steady energy there, where it's just you're feeling good, you're feeling very much like almost like on top of the world almost. You're feeling very satisfied with where things are at. Get one more tarot. One. Okay, interesting. Oh, well, that one had to come up, didn't it? You've got the Magician, and that ties directly into the first card that we pulled here with the magic. And the Magician, manifesting. You're manifesting something. There's, I said, like you're finally in a position of being fully satisfied and just feeling quite fulfilled and just in a really nice place personally. And it feels like perhaps a lot of you, this is happening this month, like it's coming into fruition this month for a lot of you. So by the end of May, you feel like you've reached this. So this, for some of you, as I was saying about promotions and that kind of thing, then I think for some of you it is a promotion. You're going to be in a higher position, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a managerial position. It just is in a position where you have a little bit more control, where you have a little bit more responsibility. And, for some of you, this is something you've been wanting for a while, you've been trying to get for a while, and that's happening for you in the month of May, which is quite exciting. The other thing about the magician is that kind of skills and abilities, and just this person that can, has the resources and the means to create whatever they need to. And, there's, again, this is that kind of, you are in that energy where you are in control. You create the life that you want to create. You've almost kind of, you've almost mastered things. You feel almost like you've mastered life in the month of May. By the end of May, you're going to feel like, yeah, I mastered life. I've got this. And of course, life ebbs and flows. But at least for the month of May, you feel like, life is on track in the way that you kind of had in mind, the way that you planned. You've kind of, yeah, so you've manifested this, you've kind of brought this about, and because over your life you've built the skills and the experience and the knowledge to be able to get to this point. And other people, as I say, are seeing this in you, and so they're kind of looking to you for advice now, because they can see you doing well, and they're like, wait, how do I get in on this action? How do I get myself rid of this? And so, yeah, things are kind of moving forward. So yeah, there's this energy of just magic all around you, where I don't know, I feel like for some of you, this is kind of giving me, like, I say you've mastered life. It's almost like, I think some of you, if you're really into manifestation, I think for some of you, this really clicks. In the month of May, it's going to really click for you. You're just going to be like, oh, I get it. And things are going to steadily start happening for you. Things are going to steadily start falling into place. Like I said, with the magic, where it's like things are happening, you can't see them. That is literally what the magic is. It's things are happening, you just can't see it yet. But that is you manifesting. And I almost feel like, with the Hierophant here as well, with that spirituality, I think for a lot of you, there's this kind of understanding of how this works. It kind of just clicks for you in the month of May. And so things are going to start kind of moving forward in towards your kind of ultimate goals, because you finally realized how it is how you can achieve that for yourself. And so, yeah, like this whole spiritual energy and the magician, I'm really getting that kind of, yeah, you've mastered something this month. You really and you're so happy. You're feeling like, yes, dreams are coming true because you're manifesting it. So yeah, that's a really positive energy for the month of May for you guys. I'm going to pull some oracle cards now. Also, just knocking the camera. I think I do that every single time. Don't mind me. It's amateur hour over here. Okay, let's do some final oracle cards for you. So, group 1, month of May. Group 1, month of May. Okay. We have standing firm. I am noble, brave, and strong. Interesting, this is coming up with the Emperor. It's giving that kind of strong, grounded energy where, I was saying earlier about if there's certain people that are around you that you need to kind of, they're just really kind of bothering you. You are standing up for yourself. A lot of you are standing up for yourself this month. You know what you want, and there's nothing that's going to, send you off path. You are standing up for yourself. You're not letting people, whatever rubbish people are saying, you're not allowing them, and you're kind of like reading people for filth this month. You're letting them know who they are, and letting them know you will not let them lead you astray. And yeah, you are absolutely, you deciding to go on the right path for you. You're not going to do what anyone else says that you should do. You know what you need to do for this month, and you've basically figured it out, and you are heading down the right path for this month. Okay. Oh, okay, we're going for 2. Let's have a look. Dwelling in truth, I stand in the light of truth. It's interesting that's come up with the Queen of Swords as well, because that's all about that kind of truth as well. She's very honest. She communicates well. She'll let you know what she's really thinking. I almost feel like this is you discovering that truth within yourself. And this is not just you discovering it with yourself, but you're also vocalizing it. As I say, with the Queen of Swords, she's not just there, thinking, oh, well, this should be this way and this should be this way. She's telling it like it is. And so this is you finally being honest with yourself and the people around you. And yeah, just really, I think it's that kind of truth with the standing firm. You are basically just, you're kind of honoring yourself this month. You know what you want for you know what's best for you, and you're going to stand firm in that no matter how difficult it can be. Because sometimes some people are a little bit toxic, and it can feel sometimes like everyone's against you, but stand firm. If you know what is right for you and it's not harming anyone, of course, then stick with it. People can have their own ideas of what is best for you because it serves them in some way. But this month, the month of May, this looks like you're saying, I'm not going to follow what your ideal life is for me. This is what I want to do, and I will stand firm in this. And anyone who's been talking crap about me, and they're going to be ditched. And you're letting people know who you think they are. You let everyone know, like, you cannot talk to me like this anymore. I will not allow it, and I will be leaving you behind as I build a better life for myself. And yeah, I feel like for a lot of you, there's a huge amount of confidence coming through, and you are, as I say, standing firm and yeah, moving forward into a great place in your life. And then we have awakening ancient wisdom, deep inner knowing is emerging within me. I mean, that just ties in again. That inner knowing. I'm just going to put this here. It really messes up the thing, which upsets me. But I'll put it here for now. But it's yeah, the deep inner knowing. It's almost kind of like the Hierophant with the spirituality, and you're just really understanding, you know, yourself and how to make things work for you. This feeds into that manifestation energy. You're finally realizing how this works for you. Because there's so many, you get told with manifestations like, try this technique and try this technique and do this and do this. It's not about that. It's about, for you, what works for you. What method, if you just say a method, what method works for you, and stick with that. And don't put too much pressure onto it. And you're realizing how you can do that this month, and you're figuring it out. And yeah, this is quite exciting. So it's like combined with the magic, you're figuring things out, combined with the kind of Hierophant, the spirituality. Manifestation is definitely a huge part of May for you. So it's manifestation May for a lot of you, which is exciting. And yeah, you're realizing how to do this, and you're really stepping into your power this month. You are absolutely getting what you need. You've kind of figured it out, and you're getting rid of any kind of, you're not getting rid of, for some of you, are getting rid of people, but you're standing firm, and you're not letting anyone kind of get in your way and give you any other negative ideas about yourself. You're not letting imposter syndrome get in the way. You're just doing what you need to do this month, and you're in a very confident and very magical place, basically. So that's really quite exciting. I actually really enjoyed that reading. I hope you did too. And if this message resonated with you, please do leave a comment down below. And if you would like to see more readings, then hit subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hi, group two. If you chose this card, the illusion card, then this is going to be your reading all about the month of May 2024 and all your predictions. So we have the illusion card, and I'm going to read this directly from the little book, just so you get the originally intended meaning for this. And we have, your world might be changing and things are not what they used to be. What you were once familiar with is now awkward and strange. You may have suffered a loss and are in need of recovery. Take time for yourself. And there is a little poem. It's a very, very short poem, so I'm just going to quickly read it. Black as the night, eyes reflecting bright. Details start to blur and blend. Oh, just a skull. The aching remnants of a friend. So this one kind of makes me feel a bit sad. This is kind of, it's given a little bit of a sense of loss almost. And so yeah, it's the change and things changing, but this could be very much a very real loss. But I think it kind of reminds me of the death card. So it's more a huge change, a transformation. Life is no longer what you've been used to for however long. It's changing, and it could be quite sudden and quite dramatic for a lot of you. So yeah, this life is no longer going to be recognizable from May. And yeah, as I say, some of you, there could be a loss, And loss comes to us in many different ways. It could be a loss of a job, it could be a loss of a friend. And we say lose and we say to, loss, it's not always like actually someone's passed on or anything. It's just, you can fall out with friends and you can lose your job, that kind of thing. And so it's, I don't want to start this off negative, but it feels like, yeah, there's a huge change coming in, and change isn't bad, and it's not easy. Sometimes it is, but often it's not very easy, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I'm just going to get your tarot cards now, go a little bit deeper into this reading, see what other messages we have for you. So, group 2, and May. Okay. Starting out with the Knight of Wands. Okay. A lot of passionate energy in here. Okay, let's start the next one. Ooh, that came out quick. Okay. Page of Pentacles. Passion and commitment. Okay. More with the Pentacles. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we've got 2 of Pentacles, so some balance and energy. Choose month of May. And still for 2 month of May. Okay, I'm going to take those. I'm just going to flip the nose. Far too many. Let's get this one next. Okay. Ooh, 9 of Swords. Okay, yeah, that ties in. That makes sense. And I'm just going to get one more tarot. And okay. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I feel like that does ties in very strongly with this first message here. But I'm just going to go to this side. So we've got the Knight of Wands, and this is that kind of passionate energy where you're just kind of diving into things, and you're just very eager to pursue something. And it could as well, with the Knight of Wands, it's very adventurous energy, so this could literally mean an adventure. So it's very often tied to travel. And so for some of you, perhaps you're going away somewhere, you're traveling, and perhaps even you're doing it alone, so it's kind of scary, it's a little bit different, maybe you've never done that before. And so, yeah, it's kind of, you're just feeling a bit adventurous, you want to try something new, or maybe just going to somewhere that just was a bit random. You thought, oh, let's give it a go, that'll be exciting. Maybe an unusual destination. So for some of you, it could be that. And then for others, it's just you're leaping into doing something. You're very eager to try something new, or just a passion maybe that you've had for a while, and you really just thought, you know what, I'm gonna commit to this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna really give it a shot. And then that would tie in quite nicely with this Page of Pentacles, because that's all about that kind of sowing the seeds and tending to them day after day and watching it grow. It's that kind of commitment and this desire to see the goal. You've got this goal in mind that you want to get to, and you are putting in the work. You've decided now. You decide, yes, I'm going to do this. This is what I really want to. I want to really achieve something. And so you're just diving in, and you're ready to take this on and give it your best shot, and you're willing to just commit to it and really take the time. You know that it's not necessarily going to be an overnight thing, and so you're going to let your passion and drive and creativity push you forward and keep you going towards this outcome. You're absolutely determined to see this goal through and see something else come out at the end. And it's almost, yeah, I'm sorry, I just had a thought because of the whole life changing. Perhaps this is, you are committed to changing yourself. We do a lot of self-reflection throughout our lives, and there's been a lot of emphasis on kind of self-awareness and improvement. And perhaps this is a month where you're just like, I want to change, I want to become a little bit different, I want to change my life, and I want to move in a different direction. And so perhaps this is you choosing to change your life this month, and choosing to change the way you present yourself. But this is a commitment where you think, okay, the long-term benefits of this are going to be, they're going to be immense. And so I want to commit to this, and I want to see this change. So for some of you, this is very much a choice. this is very much a choice to change. This is very much this is what I want to do. But yeah, regardless, it's going to be a long commitment, no matter what. It's that kind of, are you willing to put the effort into yourself? Are you willing to give yourself that time and that energy to grow and to do the things that you want to do in the month of May? There's also there's more pentacle energy. There's actually quite a bit of pentacle energy here. And this is, very much like things of I kind of think of it as a physical realm, the material things that, but we say material things, but opportunities are also something it represents. And so, yeah, it's just, I don't know, there's something happening in your life that's going to take you in a different direction in your life that's, I don't know, it could be, it's kind of giving work because of obviously the commitment to it. But, it could be a hobby that you're deciding to commit to, and it could be beneficial for you at the end of the day. Once you've become quite good at it and you've become a bit of an expert, there's that kind of outcome from that could really change your life, and you don't even realize how much it could change your life at this point in time. But you're just ready to commit and to give that a go. And then we have the Two of Pentacles with that kind of balance in life. And it almost makes you think about the fact that, if things are changing, it can be very hard to feel stable and to feel, like steady and just stable and grounded. And, there is an earth energy to the Pentacles. So there's definitely is some grounded energy. It's going to feel maybe a little bit unsteady, but ultimately I think there will be some grounded energy throughout this, just to stop you from kind of feeling completely off balance. You will be able to figure it out. I think you're going to find, I think it can be quite difficult at times, especially if you are going through actual real loss, it can be quite difficult. You feel really, like life is just a bit all over the place and you can't figure out, what to do next. And I just feel like things are going to, it might be a struggle to balance things, but you are going to be able to balance them, and you are going to be able to, start to feel a bit more steady as time goes on throughout the month of May. But yeah, there's definitely a huge amount of balancing you need to do, and it's kind of that finding that harmony in your life in order to kind of, I would say, kind of let go of the old life and then move into the new. It's kind of, that's that kind of balance between, whereas you can't just, you very often, you can't just go, right, that's the end of that chapter, let's go. And it's just like, turn the page and it's all completely new. And, it's a whole new life, things don't work that way. And it's kind of like you're balancing that change where it's like, okay, well, we're kind of weeding out the old and like, slowly planting the new. And then, yeah, and watching that grow. And it takes time to do that. And so that's kind of the balance coming in as things are changing. And it feels like you're working through some anxieties this month. And I think it feels like you're going to, you're actually going to get over them. There's a lot of anxieties that have maybe been plaguing you, and perhaps they've been preventing you from making changes, from actively making changes in your life. But I feel like you're finally working through those for this month. You've kind of said, I want this so much, whatever this thing is that you want in your life, that you want to change, that you want to, this create, it's giving creative energy because it's been the ones, whatever it is that you are so passionate about, you've decided it's worth it. It's worth it to pursue, and you're ready to commit to it. And so it's, you're going to be a little bit anxious. You're always going to be a little bit anxious, but I think you're working through it. I think you're starting to, you can see the benefits down the line. The Page of Pentacles they can see that this is going to work out, that you plant these seeds and then a few months down the line they're going to have a harvest. They can see what's in the future for them. And so, you're committing to this, and even though there's still a little bit of lingering anxiety, you're working through it, because you're going to start to see results from things, and you're going to start to see basically new opportunities. With this Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities coming in. It's change, as I was saying, like things are very much changing for you. And so, it almost kind of feels like for some of you might be moving, because you've got the Knight of Wands here. So I think for some of you, you're moving, and it's that kind of commitment. Or if you're not moving, it feels like you're planning on moving. And so it could be you're moving, where you live, or you could be moving jobs. Yeah, it just feels like you're really, it's a huge change. Whatever it is, it's a huge change. You'll move somewhere else, you're moving to a new job, and it means new opportunities. And as much as you've been scared about this, and maybe you've been kind of sitting on the fence because you're kind of a bit scared of things changing, you kind of realizing now the benefits, and you're ready to take on this new life and this new way of being. And it's becoming a little bit scarier. Sorry, not scary, a little less scarier by the end of the month. But yeah, it's change is scary, it really is. And sometimes you might think, oh well, maybe I shouldn't do this thing, but honestly, it doesn't hurt to just follow your passions. If you're ready to really commit to them, yeah, follow those. The month of May seems like it's a very positive month where you're pushing forward and you're figuring things out and you're really finding your footing in order to move forward and to make the best out of things. I'm now going to draw some oracle cards, and these are the final cards. So, 3, 2 of May. 2 months of May prediction. Okay, we have proceeding softly. My inner power grows in moments of quietude. So yeah, that's quite a nice energy. It's that changing and that getting past the anxiety and finding the balance. So proceeding softly, I like this because it's that, as I say, it's very often you can't just change just like that. Things take time to move forward. And so it's almost kind of you're figuring out how to do this in a way that is, that's not going to be too disruptive. And yeah, you're figuring it out. And it's more of a, if things are changing, for some of you, it will be an abrupt change. But I think for a lot of you, it's giving, maybe a softer change because they're proceeding softly and you're figuring it out. And so, it will be a little bit uncomfortable still, but you're figuring it out as you go. And it's certainly going in the right direction for you. And then just one last card. 2 month of May predictions. The store for the month of May. Okay. Okay. Embarking on an adventure. I savor the wonders of the world. So yeah, for a lot of you are literally traveling. So yeah, I was saying with the Knight of Wands, it's the adventure card. It's the adventurous spirit. And so yeah, for some of you are quite literally going away somewhere. You're traveling somewhere. You might be moving to a whole different. You might move to a different city, a whole different country. There's some sort of movement, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like actually. So for some of you it's literally going somewhere, and then for others of you it's a little less literal. Wow. My alliteration there. It's not quite as literal for some of you, where it's more like it's a change. You're doing something different, and you might not literally be going on an adventure, but maybe getting a new job feels like an adventure. Getting a new house feels like an adventure, and moving somewhere, even if it's just in the same city, just to another place, and you're renting, like it's still an adventure. It's still something new to take on, and can be quite exciting. And so yeah, that's kind of the energy that you've got this month. Something new, something is changing, your life is changing, and it's exciting. It's a little bit anxiety inducing at times, but it's exciting. You're balancing it, and you're not letting the anxiety win. You're moving forward, and you're kind of exploring new opportunities. And yeah, just see, I'm feeling energy. Seize the day is what I'm getting from this. You kind of just, yeah, you're ready to move forward, and despite the days when things feel a bit more difficult, you're moving forward, and yeah, you're determined to make the best of things in the month of May. Yeah, that is your reading, group 2. I hope you enjoyed it. And if the message resonated with you, please do let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more readings, then please do subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hi, group three. If you chose this card, the Ebullient card, then this is going to be your reading all about what's in store for you in the month of May. And so I'm just going to read you what this card actually says in the book and go from there. So we have Ebullient. You are full of energy. Now is the time to make the choice to leap. You will not be stopped. You have planned and prepared. It is time to live. And then it just has a little poem. And I'm going to read it because I've just been reading all the poems for these piles, so go with it. Purity in its simplest form, a smile, pressed and warm, touch like a flutter of wings and the gentle twining of limbs. I mean, this is just such a gorgeous card, isn't it? Really, yeah. It's about living life. It's all about I was kind of saying on the the end of the last reading about kind of seize the day was a thought that came to mind, and I guess that's really what this one gives. It's kind of seize the day, you know, enjoy life, have fun, and go out there and just it's given. May is going to be an exciting month for you. You're going to be having a great time in May. Fun things are going to be coming up here and there, and maybe you've already got some things planned, and then other things are going to be maybe kind of popping up here and there, and you're feeling a little bit more like, yeah, I want to give that a go. Yeah, let's go to that. Let's do that. Yeah, 100%. Let's just go try all these different things, and you're just enjoying life the month of May, which is an exciting time. I guess with a lot of us, the sun's going to be shining and a little bit warmer, and just life is feeling a little bit more positive and exciting. So yeah, it feels like it's gonna be a good month. So let's get a little bit more detail for you now with the tarot cards. So group three's month ahead. Five of Swords, interesting. Okay. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Ace of Swords. The High Priestess. And Temperance. Okay. So it's an interesting little lot here. So with the Five of Swords, it kind of looks a little bit like they're a bit aggroed here, to be honest. But it's kind of the Five of Swords is just it's a card really that says you kind of not to get too arrogant. Basically, it's a kind of it's this energy of you kind of think you've won and you're doing great, but actually maybe it's not quite as good as you think, and maybe don't brag so much, basically. And but really it's just kind of saying you think you're done, you're not. There's more to be done, there's more work to be done. And so there's kind of different ways to kind of see this energy, but because it feels like this is overwhelmingly positive, this is giving, sure, you've done a lot of something, but there's still more work to be done. And so perhaps something that you thought was kind of over in April is not quite done yet. There's still more work to be done on it, but it's not a bad thing. And I feel like you've got the energy to deal with it this month. You're like, yeah, whatever. I'm annoyed that I kind of have to do this still, but I'll get it done. I'll get it done. Get it out of the way. Get it sorted. Fine. We'll get to the end of it finally. And so yeah, there's something you've got to deal with, but you've kind of got the energy to deal with it this month. And then the Four of Pentacles, that steady kind of energy, not steady, foundation energy. It's that kind of, you've got a good foundation going with things. And so, yeah, I feel like things are in a kind of steady place for you, where it's just kind of things are going well. And so you're able to now go and enjoy life because things are in a decent spot for you. You've kind of had some initial success, or things have just been going good enough that you don't have to you've not got lots of different things worrying you right now. Things are just kind of balanced, and they're going really well. That Four of Pentacles, it's that kind of the four corners of a foundation. You've built that up. You've got your life to a place where it's just okay. There's nothing really bothering me. Things are good. Things are going great. And that's what allows you then, when life's in a good place already, it's in a steady, stable kind of place, then you can go out and enjoy life. You can really, do the exciting things because you're not constantly fighting fires to, get things to the right place. You're not concerned about this. Doesn't give energy of, you're too concerned about, oh, is things going well with my job, or worrying about finances or anything like that. It feels like it's going really well. It could indicate as well frugality, and that you're kind of being careful with your money. That's certainly a thing that could be happening, in that you're being careful with your money, but it's not stopping you from enjoying things this month. So perhaps, I mean, there might be some like free fun things. Maybe there's a free gig that comes up at your local bar or pub, and just little things that you can go to. Maybe some new thing on some new exhibition at a museum that's not too expensive. Little things here and there where it's like, oh, this is quite exciting, but also it's not going to cost me too much money. But regardless, you're in a good place, and then from that good place, you're able to build on that basically. And then we have the Ace of Swords. So it's like there's new ideas coming into you. Perhaps the kind of, it's almost like the energy you've got this month is just making you think of new things, and you've got this kind of new clarity on life, and actually how you want to live it. The swords is that it's a mental thing. It's kind of like it's that mental energy of, oh, okay, the clouds are cleared and I can see clearly now what, I mean, it's a song, but I can see clearly now what, where I need to go and what I need to do. And it kind of almost ties in with the Five of Swords for me, where it's that, oh, I thought I dealt with this, and oh god, I've got to go back to this. But you're so full of energy, these ideas and these thoughts are coming to you. You're suddenly just like, oh, okay, right, yeah, this is how I deal with this. Okay, I hadn't quite closed that chapter because there was something I was missing. I hadn't quite addressed this issue. And so, if it's, it could be anything. But say if it was, I'm thinking maybe something with a friend, maybe there's an argument you had with a friend, or something, and you think it's resolved, but it's not quite resolved. And then you're like, well, how can I resolve it this time? How can I put this to bed once and for all? And the idea comes to you, and it could literally just be, because it's this kind of breakthrough where it's just you suddenly realize this is not worth being so mad over and being so stubborn about. Let's just apologize. Let's just make amends and move on. And so it's that kind of like clarity where you're just like, okay, finally, I'm going to get past this, whatever this thing is that you've just never been able to like finish and, put an end to. I feel like you're getting the clarity, and it's happening now. It's going to happen in the month of May. Then we have the High Priestess, which is very kind of, I mean, it's a couple of things, but I was going to say spiritual energy. I mean, I'm not getting a huge amount of that throughout this reading, but there's certainly that kind of, perhaps for some of you, I felt like I needed to mention it. So I feel like for some of you, there's kind of this spiritual connection here, and maybe that's just something that you're kind of getting a little bit more in touch with throughout this month. But then for a lot of you, this is, it's strong intuition, which really ties into the Ace of Swords here, and that whole, breakthrough of that clarity of thought, because you're following your intuitions. You're deciding. You're almost kind of. It's that I say almost. It's that kind of thing when I open the video and I say to choose your pile and to go with your intuition and not think too hard. Your energy is kind of propelling you this month. You're not thinking too hard on things. You're just kind of going with the flow and going with the energy and trusting your gut on things. And you know what's the right thing to do because you just trust your gut. So you're not overthinking. You're just saying you know what's the right thing to do just instinctively, because you're listening to that voice inside that's guiding you. You're just kind of, you're just enjoying your life. You're just not overthinking it. You're just thinking, okay, maybe I should just do this and resolve this. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's apologize. Let's just let it go. Whatever it is, you know how to deal with it, and it's not necessarily, as I say, it's not always it's not necessarily I completely lost my train of thought there. I was gonna say it's not necessarily like just about friends or something. This could be anything. It could be a work project that you thought you'd kind of finished or something. But regardless of what it is, you're getting the clarity and the instincts on how to deal with this. It's just kind of coming to you. You're just going with it. And then we have temperance here, which is, that's that harmony and balance. And, things are just, it feels like you're just almost kind of going with the flow. We've got the water going there. And it's really giving me go with the flow energy this month. You're just enjoying life. You're just like, yeah, these things that are bothering me, I'm not going to let them bother me anymore. What's the point? I need to I'm not going to stress about these things anymore. Just going to let life guide me. I'm just going to enjoy. Things are going to come up throughout the month. You're just going to be like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's try that out. New ideas. You'll be like, let me give this idea a go. Let me try this thing out. And you're not putting any kind of weight on it. There's no heavy expectations. You're just, hey, let's see where this goes. And, you're just kind of going with the flow. And this is a beautiful energy to kind of be in where you can just, you've got this good foundation and you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm not really worried about anything. I'm just going to let life guide me. May's just kind of giving like these really kind of chilled out vibes where it's just, yeah, you're just kind of figuring things out. You're not really stressed too much. You're in that kind of energy where things just come to you. It just flows naturally. So yeah, it's a really beautiful energy to be in. And yeah, I'm just gonna get some final oracle cards just to get any last messages for you. So for the month of May, store 3 month of May. Oh, that really wants to come out. Okay, renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Okay, that's beautiful. So yeah, radiant vitality again with that kind of like living life. Radiant vitality. Yeah, there's a really strong kind of positive energy running throughout the month of May for you. And you're feeling energized in a way that you haven't for a while. And you're just going with it. You're just really enjoying life. And I quite like that, it's renewing and it's this clutter and they're throwing out the clutter. And these can be, it can be literal. For some of you, you're doing a literal, clean out. I guess we'd call it, listen, spring clean. And so, yeah, some of you may be doing a literal declutter and, you've just got this energy to be like, yeah, okay, we're going to get this sorted. We're going to clean up. We're going to have everything looking, fresh and ready for the rest of the year and, fresh start. And, that's literally going to be the way it is for you, that kind of, talk about foundations and that's a good foundation is having, we say tidy room, tidy mind. Of course, cluttered, we also say that people who are creative tend to have cluttered spaces and it actually helps again with creativity. But in terms of being organized and sorting your life out, having a relatively tidy space is actually very good for you mentally. And so for a lot of you, this is, physically you are decluttering. And then for a lot of you, it's mental. It's a mental decluttering. It's that kind of like, as I say, letting go, releasing that kind of old energy. You maybe, it's been hanging on for a while. You're like, okay, we're going to just get rid of this. Once and for all, we're ending this. We're not going to cling on to this anymore. We're moving forward. Got to get on with life. And that kind of, you are, getting renewed energy because you're not holding on to something from the past. You don't have this, whatever this thing is lingering over you, whatever this, whether it's work projects or, an actual, something within your life with your friends, whatever it is, it's not hanging over you anymore. And so you feel like, yes, I can move forward. I can enjoy life now. And just one final card. 3 threes. Ahead. Okay, healing the past. Yeah, okay, so I step into my future with strength and clarity. So essentially, it's right next to the Ace of Swords here. That's the clarity. And so, yeah, you're 100% getting that clarity. You're getting over whatever this thing is. You're getting past it. You're figuring it out. It's kind of, it's been bothering you all the time. You kind of figured like, oh, it's dealt with, or like, it's done it. It's dealt with enough. Even if you kind of deep down knew that this was going to probably come and bite you, come back to bite you, you're figuring it out this month. You're dealing with it. You're getting it actually properly dealt with. You're getting it out of the way. You're no longer going to let this thing hang over you, and you're dealing with it, and you're moving forward. You're figuring it out. You're having that kind of mental breakthrough where you're like, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I just get through this finally? I don't have to deal with it anymore. How do I deal with it? How do I get past it? And that's what you're doing. You're figuring that out this month. And then in figuring that out, you're then moving forward in just this really nice, harmonious way where it's just things just feel, they're just moving naturally for you this month. They're just, you're going with the flow. You've got a love of life. You're enjoying things. You're being a bit more spontaneous, and you're just going with life and seeing where it takes you. And yeah, that is quite exciting. That's yeah, it's really exciting reading for you, group three. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up. If you feel like the message resonated with you, then do leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more readings, then don't forget to subscribe. And then I will see you in your next reading. Bye for now. Hi, group four. If you chose this card, the card Pray, then this is going to be your reading all about your month ahead, the month of May 2024. So, interesting card if you chose this one. I'm going to read it directly from the book, but I feel like perhaps there's an important message for you for this month that you needed to hear, and that's why you chose this one. So, you are trapped in a cycle of repetitive fear. You need to break this cycle before you are hurt once more. You may be scared to do so, but it's time to snap the string. You need to become the predator instead of the prey. And then we've got a little poem, which I've read all the others for all the other piles, so do yours as well. Quick to hide, you are subject of cautionary tales. Those stories over the years have grown so stale that you've begun to ignore their first intention. Sometimes a reminder is not enough to mention. So, yeah, a cycle. It feels like you've been in a cycle. And I do want to draw any cards before I make any conclusive decision about this. But you've been, either you're going to be trapped you're going to continue to be trapped in the cycle in May. You probably already know what the cycle is, or you are going to break out of it finally for the month of May. Like something is finally going to click, and you're going to figure out where it is you've been going wrong, and how you've been making the same mistakes over and over. It's that thing, isn't it? It's like doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That's that kind of it, foolish sounds really really harsh, but it's just that that naive kind of energy where you think, oh yeah, if I just keep doing this, it's going to work out. Eventually, no, you need to try something new. You need to try something new, whatever it is you've been working on. And this is not to say, if you've got this overall goal that you shouldn't be aiming for that goal. I'm just saying you need to think of a different way to approach it. How you've been doing it it seems to have not been working out for you. And so you need to consider a different route to get there. So yeah, I'm going to draw some tarot cards, get further messages for you. Group 4. Okay, with the Hierophant. We had that one come up earlier. I think that was in pile 1, maybe. Interesting. Okay, group 4's month ahead. You've got Ace of Cups and the Emperor, which also came up for the same group that the Hierophant came up in. So I think it was group 1, I want to say. So yeah, if you were drawn to group 1, perhaps there's a message in that one for you as well. Group 4. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So, the Hierophant. So it's that kind of sort of things. It's kind of spiritual. It's very much about tradition. And I don't know, routines is what's coming into my mind, in that you've maybe got, as it ties into the prayer, you've got a way of doing things. You're like, this is how I do things. This is how, I've always done things, and I want to continue doing it this way. And I just feel like that's not working for you. And I kind of feel like you're figuring it out in the month of May. You're figuring it out. You're realizing where you've been going wrong, and you are breaking the cycle. So I feel like, yeah, this is, I think I can say now a bit more definitively that you are breaking out of this cycle in May. Yeah, as I say, this is kind of, as I say, this gives me that kind of routine, doing the same things over and over. It's not a bad card, the Hierophant, but I think in this circumstance where you've been kind of trapped in a cycle, you need to create new routines. It's not working, wherever it was not working for you, and it's time to create some new routines and, start a new traditions for yourself. And that's kind of highlighted by the fact we have the Ace of Cups because of that new energy. All the aces are something new coming through for you. And this is all about kind of finding that emotional fulfillment. It's that kind of, you're trying something new because you kind of, it feels a bit like you're going with what are your emotions saying? Maybe you've been doing something because, oh, everyone says this is how you're supposed to do this. And so, I've been following the instructions of what everyone else says, everyone online says if you do it this way, then this will happen. And I've been doing this religiously and, so why is it not working out? And then I think there's going to be a moment you realize you have to do what's right for you. And, for whatever people are telling you, you have to understand that you have to personalize it for yourself. You can't just go with, what everyone else is saying and do what everyone else is doing because different things work for different people. And I think you're realizing what it is that you really want deep down. And so you're kind of realizing that you want to follow these emotions and you're learning to kind of understand your own emotions in order to move forward and to break out of this cycle that you've been in. You're starting to realize, that this isn't working, how it's making you feel, and realizing what it is, what would make you feel good. It's that, I think the thing was saying, change from the prey to the predator. You are realizing how to almost kind of, I got kind of Eight of Swords vibes with that kind of victimization. Oh, things just don't work out for me. But it's almost kind of like, the bird emerging. It's kind of like you're coming out of that and like, oh, okay, I can understand now. I can see why this isn't working, and perhaps I can do something different to suit myself, something that's more suitable for me. And certainly with the Emperor coming through here, it seems like you are taking charge. And again, it's very similar to the first pile, where it is that kind of, it's that taking charge energy. It's that taking control of your life, taking back the reins. I know it's not the Chariot, but it's taking back the reins and being like, this is my life, and I will do it the way I need to do it, and I will live it the way I think is correct for me, not how everyone else says I have to live it. Yeah, so I almost feel like there's perhaps an external influence. I was saying about people saying how to live your life, and it almost feels like perhaps you've been living it maybe the way everyone around you has been saying. This is how life works, and this is you you leave school, you go to university, and then you get this job, and then you get married and you have kids, and there's this whole plan, and you're like, this isn't working for me. This doesn't feel right for me. This isn't where I want to take my life. And, and it's making you feel uncomfortable and just not feel like you. And so you're realizing that that's not for you anymore. And you're kind of getting this kind of emotional breakthrough where you're just like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. And if I want to be happy, then I can't keep continuing the way I have been. And I need to make a change and take control of my own life. Make some changes, make some new traditions for yourself. So, if you felt like society has pushed you in a certain way, in the month of May, you're figuring out how to change this and to go in the direction that you need to go into. You're kind of stepping into your power, into your confidence, and saying, this, no matter what, I'm going to stand strong, and I'm going to change my life and live it the way I want to live it. I don't care what you say. I'm going to live it the way I want to live it. And with the Five of Cups, it kind of feels like there's going to be a little bit of grief coming in here because it makes sense. You've kind of always thought that you were supposed to do things one way. It can be really sad to leave that behind and to realize that wasn't working and that you almost feel like you wasted your time doing that. But ultimately, nothing is ever really truly a waste. And the important thing is that you realize that it wasn't working and that you move forward. And so there will be a bit of grief. There's, this is at cups where you just kind of feel like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I didn't realize sooner. It's going to hit you a little bit hard in the month of May, but the important thing is that you're going to work through that and you're going to realize that it's that realization that it wasn't working for you is going to actually push you forward to make the changes and yeah, and just take control of your life, take back the reins of your life and steer it in the direction that you want it to go in. And then the Four of Pentacles. So, I mean, there's so many meanings to it, but it's that kind of building of a foundation as well. The four is that kind of foundation. You've got the four corners, the four walls, a good solid foundation. It almost feels like you're kind of that's what you're doing in the month of May. You're building towards something. You're starting something, and it feels like you're laying the foundations of a new life. Is what I'm kind of getting here. You are deciding for yourself what you want your life to look like and how you're going to move forward with that. And so you're starting to lay the foundations of that new life for yourself, thinking about how to move forward. There is an element of kind of frugality in here, holding something back. And, perhaps there is a case of, if you do need to make a huge change from what, originally was planned, perhaps there's some saving that needs to be done, or perhaps I don't know, perhaps you're kind of dipping into them savings a little bit in order to kind of move things forward and change things. But regardless, there's some sort of decent, like there's a good foundation for you to move on in the month of May in order to move forward. And it's kind of like you are bringing the stability into your life. Basically, it can feel quite rocky. So in the previous piles with the changes, it can feel quite rocky when things are changing, but you are going to stand firm and you are going to, commit to this change and doing things the way you want to do it. And yeah, you're standing firm. That's another one of the oracle cards that came up with this pile, and it's that kind of standing firm. Sorry, when I said that, I meant pile one. Pile one had this and this card, and they had standing firm came out. It's that, that confidence, that energy to, to say, to put your foot down and say, this is how I want things to go. And so I just feel like you are very much grounded and this is how things are going to go from now on. I will no longer be trapped in this old cycle and I will no longer be trapped by whatever society says I should do. I'm going to do things that are right for me, that make me feel good without harming anyone. So yeah, I'm now going to get some oracle cards. These will be your last few cards. So group 4, or for group 4 in the month of May. For month of May. Ooh, okay. Oh, yep, we've got 3 here. Okay. So, cherishing self. I accept and love myself. I think that's so important. If you've been trying to do things the way other people have told you should be doing things, you can end up putting yourself aside. You can forget about what you need, what your wants and needs are. And, and then you end up feeling lost because you think you're doing the right thing because everyone told you it's the right thing, but ultimately it's not for you. That's not the right thing for you. And so in the month of May, you are learning to, respect yourself, love yourself, and really trust your own intuition, your emotions moving forward and doing things for you, figuring it out for you, not for what everyone else is telling you to do. Making a difference, like inner light shines far and wide. Yeah, you are. You're making a difference in your own life. And, with the emperor here and that, that light shining far and wide, it kind of gives that, you can imagine an emperor that's kind of clad all in gold and it's kind of sparkling everywhere for everyone to see. And that might be just my imagination, but it's just that kind of like everyone can see you. And it's like, wow, okay, you've just got this strong energy that you're kind of stepping into. You're like, this is my life and I will make of it what I want to. And so, yeah, there's some huge changes. And I kind of almost feel like, because the things are going to be so different, I feel like you're going to change your appearance. A lot of you, maybe you've dressed a certain way because you just kind of thought, well, I need to fit in with everyone, especially people I think that are from, smaller kind of towns and things like that, and smaller cities. You'll kind of, maybe you feel afraid of stepping out of line and standing out, and you've kind of just said, I don't care anymore. For my own, mental health and emotional peace, I am going to do what I want for me. And so, yeah, for a lot of you, I think this is physically, your appearance is going to be changing because you're finally going to be true to yourself. You're going to, there's like a wardrobe update coming in, got new makeup, new jewelry, just, yeah. So, yeah, and I think, also it goes a bit deeper than that. There is that kind of like, deeper than the surface, and that it's that confidence. People can see the difference in you because even if it's not physically manifesting, they can see it in the way you carry yourself, the way that you talk now, just your general energy about life. There's more confidence coming through. And another one that came through, another one on another pile, is renewing your life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. So, I mean, if that isn't literally the whole message, yeah. And also, I like that, right, radiant vitality, because it's that kind of like the inner light that's shining again. When you choose to love yourself and do things for you, that light just shines through, and people notice it. People notice that you're so much happier, and they're like, oh, wow, the energy has really changed, and well, okay, like it's so, you seem so positive, you know, and getting rid of the clutter, getting rid of that, to me, for your pile, is you're getting rid of this clutter of the noise of people telling you how your life should be. You are getting rid of that. You're getting rid of all these notions that you've kind of grown up with and you've had sticking around in your head, all these limiting beliefs about how things should be. You're realizing that, you need to get rid of those, and you're kind of just like plucking them out like weeds, all these thoughts, you're just plucking them out and getting rid of them and tidying up, basically. Doing a little inner tidier and realizing that you need to take control of your life and change it. It's up to you to make this change and to go in the direction that suits you. It's that the emotional kind of the Ace of Cups, that renewing life for you. Find what is most fulfilling for you and go with that. Yeah. So for the month of May, I hate how this is not even now, but yeah, for the month of May, you're ending a kind of a vicious cycle. You're ending a vicious cycle in the month of May, and you're finding yourself, is what I'm getting. The overall message here, you're finding yourself, and yeah, you're figuring out like who you are, what you really want from your life. Forget what everyone else says. It's going to be a little bit sad, looking back and thinking about, potentially wasted time or stuff, but it doesn't matter. You're moving forward, and as long as you keep looking forward, you're going to keep improving and changing your life. As so you're building this new foundation for your life. There's a whole sense of renewal and just moving forward and breaking free of like all these constraints to become who you truly are and your most authentic self, and take your life in the direction that you want, not what society thinks you should want. But yeah, that is your month of May group 4. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up, and if it resonated, drop me a comment down below. And if you want to see more videos, I promise I will be posting more. Just hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.